Last time on Toys from the Attic.
So I decided to stick just with the Stunticons and form Menasor. I'm probably not going to be putting any effort into Superion whatsoever, but sorry.
Damn you, OCD!
Hello and welcome to another edition of Toys from the Attic. Now, as you guys can probably tell from the intro, I ended up breaking down and getting the rest of the Aerobots to form Superion. I just had to have that counterpart to Menasor. And I will admit that after looking at more pictures of them, I thought Superion looked actually pretty cool. Now here we're going to be taking a look at Silverbolt, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, back in the day from the old Generation 1 cartoon, I was never really a big fan of Silverbolt. I know people complain about like Cyclops and Chip from Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers as being this straight-laced, goody-goody guy, and Silverbolt always kind of seemed that way to me. Also kind of a bit of a wet blanket amongst the Aerobots, so I never really got into his character. It wasn't actually until Beast Wars that I actually liked that version of Silverbolt. However, looking at this figure, he's actually kind of grown on me and become one of my favorites out of the Aerobot line. I just think it's the way they've updated his design. He has these much bigger arms, and I'm actually even digging the look of his chest, not his chest, his head. Getting all a little tongue-tied. But yeah, it's really kind of reminiscent of the original G1 cartoon, so it's like, yeah, it's spot on, and why should I not like that guy as opposed to this one? I don't know, it's just something about this one that I'm actually digging the character, getting into him a little bit more. Now, as far as his articulation goes, his head can move side to side. His arms are on this nice ratchet so they could go up and down and move forward. And I really do like this better than the old ball joints. It just means that they're going to more likely stay in that position a little bit better. He has a nice bicep swivel right here, and his arms can move up and down like this. He has a little bit of wrist articulation right here, but that's mostly for him in his combining mode state. His legs can move up and down like this, and then he has a nice thigh swivel, and his hips can move, or his knees can move forward and back like this. There's a little bit of ankle articulation right here, but that's also part of his transformation, but I'm going to count it anyways. He's not that bad of a figure. He does come with a lot of kibble right here on the back, with the jet mode that just kind of folds over here, so his alt mode in his plane in the plane mode is a little bit cumbersome on the undercarriage. It's a little bit of a downside with these plane guys, but what are you going to do? That you need to actually store his body someplace so he could get that bulk to form Superion. Now, the weapons that he come with is actually this gun. It's a little back heavy, so I'm going to have to put his arms forward just so he could kind of balance. Now, this is his weapon. He comes with this long gun that actually can split apart right here and form either just a regular gun and a sort of shield, I'm guessing, although I'm really not sure how it can be a shield if it doesn't really fit on his hands like this. I don't know. I much prefer to have it actually all one solid piece like this and just make it look more like it's just a really, really big, kind of almost long rifle that he's actually shooting with. It just seems like it would be better for him to have a rifle more than a pistol. Now, to transform Silverbolt into his alt mode is fairly simple. We're going to start by moving his chest forward so we can rotate his head back like this. And just snap back into place. I'm going to then slide his heels back over like this and then slide his feet all the way back. But first, I'm going to move these panels up here like so. Slide his feet all the way back. Then I'm going to bring his arms up and kind of rotate them around and kind of get them into this position a little bit like this. It's going to come into play just a little bit later. After that, we're going to swing his legs all the way around and then slide them up like so. Move his arm out of the way. And you're going to see that these little panels that we popped out right here, there's a little tab right in there that you're going to want to get that into. So right there. Move that over here and get that one on that side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move his arms right here. You can see that the little hinge right here is going to fit right into that groove right there. Just going to kind of get that in there and get that on that side. And then we're just going to move his the front part of his plane around, move his wings down, and then move this part up, the little tail fin. And that's how you get Silverbolt into his alt mode. Now, yeah, he does have a lot of parts under here for his undercarriage, and I forgot the name of these jets, but yeah, they don't have all this down here, and so that's a little bit of a downside for this particular vehicle mode. It's actually with all the aerial bots that just have way too much kibble right here, and you kind of have to think like, oh yeah, that's what type of jet would have that. But because I know he's going to form Superion, and I think that character is actually really cool, I'm going to forgive it. Now here's one extra neat little thing, is you just pull this area down right here to actually form the front part of his landing gear, and the other part is actually just molded in here. Now if you also want to store his weapon in here, you could either put it under one of these armholes like this, or what I prefer is, actually I'm going to snap this more together like this, whereas what I prefer is to actually just mount it right here on the front, so it's like he's actually carrying a giant gun so that when he's shooting. And you can see there's a little wheel right molded into the plastic there, so it also doubles as his landing gear for his plane mode. Now Silverbolt forms the chest of Superion, and to get him into that mode is pretty much the same as getting him in his alt mode, with just some minor variations. Now you're going to pull his chest forward just as before, however you're also going to try to get your finger in there to actually pull out the head of Superion. And we're going to slide this part back, and then you're going to slide this panel of the chest forward so it actually covers that hole right in there. After that, you're going to swing his arms forward, or his hands I should say, forward like this, and then just move his arms down like this, and these are actually going to form the legs of Superion. After that, we're going to bring his legs around like this, and be sure to move those panels out just like he did for getting him in his alt mode, and move his legs down just like this, and we're going to slide those back into their pegs just as before. Do that on both sides to get his last foot in there. There we go. Move that over here on this side and get that in there. Now we're going to move Superion's head all the way up and around like this, and there's actually a little groove right in here in the back that this peg is going to fit right into. And just move Superion's antennae up. Now these are actually part of a really soft rubbery plastic, so they bend all over the place and they don't quite move forward all the way. It would have been kind of nice to have them as hard plastic, but then I could understand that, yeah, this could possibly, if a kid fell on these, it would really hurt, or that it could be something that could easily be broken off. This nice thin or soft rubber gives it just enough play. Now last but not least, we're going to actually rotate or swing these panels out to actually form the chest of Superion, and then we're just going to pull these little panels right here so that when we're ready to attach the rest of the aerial bots, we have them. And that's pretty much how we get a Silverbolt into the chest and torso of Superion. Now just for laughs and giggles, and because this guy's name is Silverbolt, I decided to stand him next to Black Arachnia from Transformers Animated. Now if you guys get this reference and know why I think this make a perfect couple, congratulations, you're old enough to remember Beast Wars and get this obscure reference.
Once again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you've seen today, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, or leave a comment below in the comment section. Any advice for the show will be greatly appreciated. Who knows, something you suggest may appear on the show in the future.